right, let's get into the paper review now. As the first thing we do every morning like this, just to let you know what the stories are on the front pages of the newspaper across Nigeria. We have joining us our regular leadership and communication strategist, Dr. Ojon. Dr. good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
It's nice
to
see
you.
Join us right now.
Thank you. Hope you had a great weekend.
Very fantastic.
Fantastic, and so we're ready to go. Let's begin with a punch. We'll meet aggrieved APC chiefs, says PDP chairman. Of course, the NPDP has been laying out its grievances to the APC, complaining of marginalization. And what's that? What they actually use? Pogrom, political pogrom.
They said political pogrom. And it was a strong, we're saying it's a strong political pogrom.
It makes you wonder, you know, do you need grievances for a political party to be formed? Or should it be along ideological lines? Because whether it's the APC or the PDP, getting membership seems to be when there are grievances. When there are grievances, and not necessarily because we
believe in the same
exactly.
Unfortunately, PDP is a good product that is not marketable at this point in time. So many of those people that are going to be leaving APC very soon are not going back to PDP, including some members of the NPDP. So it is not time for PDP to celebrate. It may be a very good product, but at this moment in time, PDP is not marketable.
Why do you think it is a good product?
I think it's a good product because what we have now is not totally different. And if we are accepting what we have now, then it is. The problem we've always had is not about political party. I have said it over and again. The problem we have are the partisan people who continue to move from one political party after messing it up. These are some of the set of people that have come into APC to mess APC up, to make the ideology remain the same. Because if you look at all the political parties put together, you discover it's the same ideology. So the party people keep moving, messing up political parties.
I remember either with you or someone else when we're talking about the issue of they moved to mess APC up. APC is still made up of the same Nigerian politicians in the first place. So it wasn't even just the movement of some persons from PDP to APC.
To a certain degree, it's the movement. To a certain degree, not just from PDP, from all other political parties.
Old wine in
new skin.
If you look at APC independently, though it is not legal to look at it that way, if you look at it from ACN and this thing, you discover that there were measures of sanity within some of these political parties when they were regional parties, so I would call them. But now that they've forged together, come together, you discover that their problems have become national.
It's been adulterated.
And you understand. They've been unable to solve them.
You're making this particular group of people look like lepers that should not be touched. All right, Serap drags Buhari to UN for disobeying court judgments. It's accused Buhari's government of choosing what court judgments to abide by and which ones not to.
Yes, that is true. To a very certain degree, we can continue to count about 2-3 sensitive cases that at least we have had court pronouncement on them, and the president seems to be looking at the other away from what the courts have said. So to a certain degree, but again, one needs to be very careful because most times when you talk about democracy, we need to continue to redesign democracy to suit our own peculiar needs.
Homegrown democracy?
Yes. If you look at, people continue to point to the US, for example, and I say US is not operating real democracy in the real sense of it. They are operating selective democracy because no political party will ever rule in the US for 16 years.
Yeah,
but how popular you are. You can't rule for 16 years. There's a system that has been built. Once your political party comes on board, rules for 8 years, you are gone.
But that's the democracy in true terms. Is there any ideal democracy? That's their own democracy. In fact,
do we have our own democracy?
So what he's saying is we should look for our own ideal
kind of
democracy
because you cannot continue to steal. Because you are aware that once you get to the court will free you. And because you have that ideology, you know, if you steal 20 billion and you get to court that with 500,000 that they are going to let you free. So people continue to steal until we begin to tidy up some of these things and have our own democracy that is going to end corruption. Then we may continue like this for a very long time.
Right.
Okay, we might have to look at the traditional institutions too, if we can to help in that fight. All right, 1.5 trillion naira spent on capital projects in 2017, says Adeosun Finance Minister. Fayemi has what it takes to win Ekiti election. Buhari speaking there. And so many other, parents call for prayers to mark Leah's 16th birthday. It's her 16th birthday today. We can only wish her a happy birthday and that she'll be out very soon and rejoin her family.
Exactly. All right, let's move to the New Telegraph paper now. We have this bold publication there on almost all the papers today.
It's looking like a political campaign poster.
Well, I think it's sponsored by one of the state governments against. Maybe it's just an outcome. It's an outcome of part of what they frown against in River State. Yeah. Right. Let's move on to other stories. Oyegun, National Working Committee sabotaging APC congresses. Rocha Sokorocha is saying that, and party to governor. Your comments uncharitable. Now, Rocha Sokorocha has accused the chairman of the APC and the vice chairman Southeast of doing everything to sabotage the proper working of the congresses in Imo State.
Yes, I love the phrase proper working, because proper working to a politician is determined by the fact of whether it favors them or not. If it favors me, then it's working perfectly. If it doesn't favor me, then there must something that needs to be done. You understand? That is the mindset of an average politician. But I tell you again that if APC continues like this, their failure in 2019 will be mega. And I have to be very clear on that time. It's going to be mega.
Because there seem to be wranglings within the party.
It is even louder than what we used to hear during the time of PDP. And I said it the other time that PDP had a lot of crises. In fact, they were home of crisis at the point. But because they have a unifying factor in the person of the president, he was the national leader of the party, any sitting president under PDP. So they have a way of this family
rallying
and they quickly. But now, even after the president have spoken, some people still felt that they were not going to follow what the president has said.
Well, the vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, believes that this crisis will be resolved very soon. He has said that.
I also believe it will be resolved, but it's not going to be resolved by sitting in Abuja.
It's all right.
And according to Okorocha, this is actually happening because he was against the tenure elongation of Odige Oyegun.
Of course, you expect a lot of them to fight back. But again, if you are very sensitive as a political party, if you know that, oh, these people, you are going to let them go constitutionally, legally, they are supposed to go. But because they are used to power already, there's a way of pacifying them. It happens in every democracy.
And power
is
sweet.
It's all right. We have NCAA grounds First Nation declares airline unfit to fly. We have Fayose to fire me. Don't jubilate over your victory yet, you know.
Because he says it's a pirate victory.
Exactly. And then PDP kicks as APC sweeps Kaduna local government polls. Well, that's on the New Telegraph. Okay,
moving on to The Nation. No parallel Congress in Oyo, says APC. Ekiti 2019, Fayose, fire me in war of words. NAFDAC reopens Emzo pharmaceutical firm, of course, following the that documentary on codeine abuse in Nigeria. Nigeria-UAE agreement on stolen assets takes off. And that's the bold headline there on The Nation.
Okay, I quickly want to talk about this codeine stuff, because we cannot continue to be reactive when it comes to the issue of leadership. You know, when the company was actually shut down, I was touched because of the fact that I've experienced firsthand the number of people that have lost jobs in recent times. So when you say because of this thing that you're closing it down, I have been aware for a very long time of the damage that this thing do to people, of the fact that youth are even engaged in some things that are even different. We can continue to name them. So instead of shutting down the company, I was expecting the federal government to actually tighten up the, what's it called, the recommendation process. Because if you get to a pharmacy and you don't have prescription, you should not get it. So that should be the concern of the people.
Even on the drug itself, there are inscriptions there. If you're taking it, don't drive, don't do anything heavy, and all of that.
And it should be with doctor's prescription.
Doctor's prescription. So, Nigerians were thinking that if there's going to be a move by any government agency, it would have been, let us work with you, pharmaceutical company. Let's see how do we handle this? So, because a lot from the documentaries and even the reports we have gotten, it is the middlemen who are involved in all of this illicit
So how do we sanitize it? Because I bet you that if they still produce this thing in Ghana, if they still produce it in our neighboring
they'll find their way into Nigeria.
Find their way into Nigeria.
That's true. That's
Unfortunately. True. Okay, that's it for the nation, practically.
All right, let's move to the Daily Sun now. Bishops, others cry out as bomb rocks church. That's in Ijinike in Anambra, in Enugu State. Ijinike. Well, this brings to the fore the issue of insecurity. Because when you talk about
spreading
bomb blasts, it's spreading everywhere.
You know, I said it the other time that people in Lagos should not, and it's not to scare anybody. It's very easy for me to sit in Lagos and think that everything is normal. But again, insecurity is crawling to our parlor without us knowing. So now it is moving gradually to the eastern part of the country. So it is not more a northern thing. When you hear about bomb blast the other time, you could say, oh, it's northeast.
Your mind quickly just goes to the northeast. Yeah.
Everybody is beyond
We're
church.
all involved.
Everybody needs to be involved. Either your pastor, your imam, everybody will need to be involved. A partner security agent. And there's no how all this effort will yield result if we do not attach importance to the welfare of security personnel. Because most of this information, if you have ever worked with these people, there was a time I worked very closely with a governor, and it was then that I knew that they have nearly a precise idea of what is going to happen because they have security report every time. But when you do not pay these people very well, they can sell some of this information, or even when they have it, they may decide to look away from it. So,
but then again, even the security agencies are overwhelmed. I mean, police and what have you. Maybe it's time for Nigerians to begin to engage the services of private security, companies.
Of course,
they tell you there are some level of collaboration here and there. Level of collaboration.
Yeah. But again, even if you continue to engage some private thing, you discover that the same problem that police is facing now will still be the problem they face. Let's start from some of the guards that you see in companies here and there. They tell you that perhaps they earn 18,000 naira. Meanwhile, the company is paying as much as maybe 40,000 naira to the parent organization, but the organization is going to give them peanut. That's why every Friday when you are passing, they say Happy Friday. They are expecting something.
Your boys
happy weekend.
Yeah. Okay, happy weekend, sir. Yeah, we're used to that one. All right, the Vanguard, is that my next paper? All right, 18 banks defy CBN on interest rates. Of course, the CBN has been trying to put a cap on the interest rates at the banks, but the banks are even inching very close to 50%.
Yeah. And
some are justifying it.
One of the reasons why the economy may not really develop the way we want it to develop is the fact that we have not learned the art of empowering small-scale entrepreneurs. And there's no how we want to encourage them without giving avenue for commercial banks to give loan at reasonable rates. And that's what the CBN is doing. Now the government may say we have BOI, we have this and that. But when you look at the capacity of some of these specialized banks and our current population, you discover that
the demand for credit.
And the demand for credit. So
yet there's billions of naira lying fallow in the banks.
In the bank.
Every now and again, you hear the CBN governor Emefiele say, look, the banks should give the SMEs loans. Because why this money just in the banks doing nothing?
The issue there is, it is not just okay to say you give instructions. The CBN has not been able to clamp down on the banks or make them. That the concept of enforcement. And that's the issue here.
The CBN
also show that to a certain degree, if a CBN is giving a directive and a commercial bank is saying no, we are not going to, that shows that to a certain degree, there's something that we do not know within the entire process. So that calls for a lot of questions.
All right, and finally from the Vanguard, 48 hours to NPDP ultimatum. Yes, remember the 7-day ultimatum they gave President Buhari. You're going to meet Buhari. APC boils in Imo, your Delta, Enugu, and others. Where is the APC not boiling? That's a question, really.
Okay. This day newspaper is the final one here. We have article to partially privatize NNPC, allow currency float if elected as president. 41 items will not benefit from currency swap, CBN insists. And import and export windows record $13 billion transaction in 1 week. Well, that's encouraging. But the point, the issue there is promises by politicians.
Yes.
We'll privatize NNPC. We'll allow the Naira to find its value or find its level and all of that. Is there anything new in those kind of, in this election?
I think as long as we continue to prioritize experience over innovation, we continue to have the same promises at every point in time. People are going to come and tell you that this is what we want to do. We are going to work on electricity, we are going to do this, and at the end of the day, they will not be able to do it. So we are talking about leadership of capacity and character. Character will make you make a promise and make you fulfill it. Capacity will give you the know-how to fulfill it. Somehow there's a disconnect between character and capacity in leadership structure in Nigeria. And that's why if we continue to recycle this set of people, in the next 20 years, you are still going to be hearing the same set of promises.
Okay.
Well, that's
recycled promises.
Recycled, because the point there is we often hear all sorts of promises. They're promises. Nothing is binding. I made the promise, and then you can hear anybody can make promise, and you hear, well, we have done this and we are doing that. By the time they get elected, we're doing this and we're doing this, and we've done this and we have done this.
But because of the former, you know, we were not able to deliver on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the people who were here before us
Nigeria
messed things up
so badly. We didn't know it was this bad.
We didn't realize we underrated.
Exactly. It's so bad. We need to clean it up so we can start all over again.
Mike, a quick one. You know, we've talked about this leadership failure and all that. This actually is a summary of all the problems and the solution of leadership in Nigeria.
Interesting. Do we get copies?
Yes, I call it understanding technical leadership.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's just a summary of
technical leadership,
the problems in Nigeria.
That's good.
Right. Understanding technical leadership by Don.
That's fine. I'm going to read this. And then certainly I'm going to grill you on some of the issues. All right. That's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, stay with us. There's still more to come on TVC Breakfast. We'll be talking about Fayemi's victory at the, as he gets the APC ticket for Ekiti State governorship.
And we'll be keeping Dr. John for the discussion as we have another analyst join us on the program. Stay with us now.